Alright, so the first thing we need to do is sketch out the circuit. So we have a battery source connected to 4 resistors that are in parallel. So the first resistor has a value of our resistance of 20 ohms. The second one has a resistance of 25 ohms. The third one has a resistance that we found in part A of 35 ohms. And the last one has a resistance of 50 ohms. Then we're also given the voltage of the battery is 64 volts. And they want to know where at point A, what is the current? At point B, what is the current? At point C, what is the current? And then at point D, what is the current? All right, so we're going to use the junction rule or the node rule to figure this out. And to do that, we need the current in all the individual branches plus the total current. So to figure that out, we know that based on the fact this is a parallel circuit, that the voltage across each one of these resistors has to be 64 volts. So I have 64 volts for each one of these resistors. So to find the current, right, V is equal to I times R. If I rearrange the equation, I is equal to V over R. So current 1 is 64 divided by 20, which gives me 3.2 amps. Current 2 is 64 divided by 25, which gives me 2.56 amps. Current 3 is 64 divided by 35, which is 1.83 amps. Current 4 is 64 divided by 50, which gives me 1.28 amps. And so looking at this, we kind of have to figure out what the currents are at A, B, and C, and D. So the total current will come off the battery. So that's your total current. And it's going to go into that junction, that first junction there. And I1 is going to come down, going to go through the first resistor. And what's left that goes through A is current 2 plus current 3 plus current 4. So those at point A, you want to add up current 2, current 3, and current 4 to get the total current at point A. Then at the next junction, current 2 is going to leave, and so that leaves what's left to go through part B is current 3 plus current 4. When you get to the next junction, current 3 is now going to leave and you're left with only current 4. So at point B, you want to add up the current for resistor 3 and the current for resistor 4. Now on the other end of the circuit, in this first junction over here, we have current 4 and current 3 combining at point C as current 3 plus current 4. So you want to add up 3 and 4. So the same current you had at point B is the current you have at point C. All right, the next junction, current 2 is going to join with current 3 and 4. So at D, we're going to have current 2 plus current 3 plus current 4. So the current at point D is the same as the current at point A. And then finally, current 1 is going to join with 2, 3, and 4 to give us back our total current when we get back around to the battery. So that should be enough to get you started on B, C, and D.